AMA Pro Flat Track has invaded the 75th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. We are here at the Black Hills Speedway with Mount Rushmore nearby and all the excitement of Bike Week. We're heading into the second half mile of this season. Brad Baker is currently riding extremely strong. He's hot off his win at the Indy Mile and sits 4th in points. Brian Smith is also on a tear. One of the guys riding up in front, he's currently sitting 2nd in points. Jared Meese, who's running consistent like usual, is our points leader. He is still hungry for his first win of the season. Sammy Halbert is 3rd in the points, and he's hungry to get back up on the podium. Kenny Coolbeth Jr. sits 5th in points, and he's a threat to win at any race. Don't go anywhere. The Black Hills half mile starts now.
Welcome to Rapid City, South Dakota. This is the Black Hills Harley-Davidson Grand National, and we're getting ready to have some fun. I'm Scotty Dibbler alongside the 7-time champ Chris Carr. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. We've got a great racetrack here tonight. Looking forward to the action. If anything from practice is any indication, it's going to be quite the show tonight.
Well, we talked earlier. You and Ronnie Jones are the only 2 human beings that are here that have won a race here, a Grand National here. Tell us, what's it going to take to win tonight? Well,
the key thing at the Black Hills Speedway is keeping your momentum up. And we have found through the years that the Harley-Davidsons are superior in getting through the corners. The Kawasaki's of late seem to accelerate down the straightaways. I think some of the guys on the Cowies are over there working on them, trying to figure out how to get a little bit more grip. But the key thing is forward momentum, just like anywhere else. And this track is pretty round. The corners are pretty long. It favors the Harley-Davidsons, but we've seen some surprises in the past, and we'll see if the Brian Smith 42 can move on forward.
Well, they've added a lot of moisture since qualifying practice has wrapped up. They've added a lot of moisture and got the track. You think it's going to continue to get faster and faster as the night goes on, or you think we've seen the fastest laps already?
It's hard to say. Mother Nature's going to have a lot to do with that. There's a bit of humidity in the air. There's a little bit of weather to the west. Give or take. This track typically gets faster once the sun goes down. I wouldn't be surprised to see our fastest laps in the main event tonight.
So you won back in the 90s. We actually tried it again in 2000. You went all the way through your fast qualifier. You rained out, didn't get to run the main event. We tried it again last year, and we could have raced jet skis in the infield. So it's been a while. Not very many people that are racing today have actually even put race laps on this track. So that leans towards Kenny Coolbeth. He went out there and became fast qualifier. Is he your man to win tonight?
I would put my money, if I was putting money on the race, I would bet on Kenny Coolbeth tonight, simply because he was a rookie in 1994. He's probably got 6 or 7 years of experience on this racetrack. He's a very, very good half-mile rider, and this track, with the way he rides the brake real hard, favors him going through these corners that are so long. He looked great in practice. He's our fast qualifier today, and he looked real good here a year ago before the rains came. So he's my pick for tonight.
All right, Kenny Coolbeth. You heard it from the 7-time champ Chris Carr. Kenny Coolbeth is his pick. So we are up here in the beautiful Black Hills, Rapid City, South Dakota, for the Black Hills Harley-Davidson Grand National, and we got a special guest in the booth. So we'll see who that is in just a moment.
Welcome to the 75th Annual Sturgis Rally here at Black Hills Harley-Davidson. You're standing in our showroom, which we just expanded, 27,000 square feet, in preparation for this big event. And we're glad we did it because I think the customers are having a lot better experience because of it. Well, the benefit, I think, to coming here to Black Hills Harley-Davidson is a few things. Number one, ease of parking. We've always said our model is parking is king, so that people can get in, take a look at all the products and services we have to offer. Today we've got over 125 vendors, probably 150 different companies represented, along with the largest selection of genuine Harley-Davidson merchandise anywhere you can find on the planet. So you got to come on in and check it out. It's a real destination. I've always been a huge race fan, a huge AMA Pro dirt track fan. Been going to Springfield, used to race myself, and wanted to bring back the XR 750s, wanted to bring back AMA Pro flat track to Rapid City. I've been working with the track owner, Ed Kirchhoff, and his crew, and we're bringing it back. We're gonna have a heck of a race tomorrow night, Tuesday, August 4th, so come on out and check it out. Now I'm gonna give you my best Jared Meese imitation. Hey man, Terry, how many bikes you sell? Oh really? Did I send you my resume? Hey, Terry, hey, man. You can eat that?
And welcome back to the booth. We've been joined by the man himself. This is Terry Rymer, the general manager of Black Hills Harley-Davidson and big promoter of this race. Terry, welcome to the fanschoice.tv booth. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Wearing lots of hats this week for sure.
Well,
Hold on a second. We missed that. How you doing?
I said I'm doing great. We're wearing lots of hats this week for sure.
I don't. Did you lose it? I don't see
No.
it.
well,
It's
we
still there.
know you've been
Okay.
wearing a lot of sunglasses too, visiting the parking lot there with a
For
little,
sure.
little Rocky Raccoon going, as all of us are this week. It's got to be kind of a break for you. This is, the 75th annual. It's really busy down at your store. I drove by it this morning at about 8 o'clock, and I couldn't believe how many people were there already. Do you feel like you're on break out here running this race?
I do not feel like I'm on break at this race. I'm on pins and needles. I just want to have a great race. I really do. That's what it's all about for me. I'm just excited that we've got the crew here. I'm excited to have you guys here, and I'm excited to have the fans here. I just want Rapid City, the Black Hills, Sturgis Rally, to have a world-class motorcycle event, and that's what I feel this is.
Well, earlier during qualifying practice, we had a special guest join us. It was Kenny Roberts, who's a two-time flat track Grand National champion, three-time world champion, and he joined us. And you've got a piece of history on your arm. Let's see this new ink you've got on there.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, Kenny didn't
can see
believe.
it.
Kenny didn't believe it was
He
real.
actually thought it was a sticker.
So he tried peeling it off.
Yeah, he did.
What do you think of it?
Actually, he thought it was pretty cool.
Absolutely, I think it's really cool. So
The guy that did it, Matt Thrash, did a great job.
you're a huge flat track fan,
Always have been.
and so is that why you stepped in and helped make this a national?
Yeah, it is. It is. You just could see it happening. I really think that, like I said before, this rally, Rapid City, AMA Pro Racing, we need this event, I feel. And I'm just glad to be able to do it, glad to be able to do my part.
Well, I got to know. I mean, have you had a set of dirt track leathers on in your lifetime?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what's your history in the world of flat track racing?
Well,
How'd
I tell
you
you
get
what.
your start?
Well, I actually grew up motocrossing like a lot of guys did, and trail riding and whatnot. And then I moved here to Rapid City, and my neighbor, he flat tracked, so I took the bike that I had and we built wheel spacers and got the thing going. And I went out and I actually did pretty good. I won a championship up in Sturgis on the short track. So then I bought a Rotax like everybody does, and I felt good on that. And I rode really good, and I had a lot of fun. But then at that time, the late 80s, of course, the Harley-Davidson business was just taking off like a rocket. So my boss said, well, Terry, are you going to go racing or are you going to work? And I made a choice, and I think I made a good choice. So,
I'd say you did.
yeah.
The Black Hills Harley-Davidson shop actually sponsors the racing lady, Nicole Meese, and this is her last full season. That's been a good partnership with you folks. She's looking for her career best finish here tonight. What do you think her chances are?
I'll tell you what, she's been riding really awesome lately. I rode a bike over to Lima and watched, and I just everywhere she goes. Indy, Springfield earlier this year, she's really riding well this year, and it's her farewell tour. But I'd really like to see her on the podium for this. Of course, I would every race, but this would really be epic if she could get on the podium here at this race.
Do you think, knowing that racing's been in her blood her entire life, that if she did have a result like that, she might extend her farewell tour a little bit?
I went out to dinner with her the other night, her and Jared, and I don't think that's
That's not in the cards?
I don't know that. I don't know that it's not in the cards. I don't know. She's riding really well. I think she qualified 4th, didn't she, or something like that? I don't know where she's at.
We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. Anyway, it was all good.
Well, Terry,
I'm excited.
Terry, we know you got a lot of stuff going on outside. You got to take care of the fans. You're the promoter. You're a sponsor. You've got a lot of things happening. Thanks for stopping by the Fans Choice.
Thanks for having me.
We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me, guys.
That's Terry Rymer from Black Hills Harley-Davidson. There was also another big announcement at his dealership yesterday. Let's check out this cool video.
And I'm bringing on my longtime supporter, McElroy Packaging, and along with Rolling Sands Designs is a new sponsor coming on board for the series. This new partnership is really going to lead to some stability in my program. It's been all me this past year working on my motorcycles behind the scenes every weekend, making sure they're ready to come to the track. And this weekend we'll be working with Mike Himmelsbach and trying to get my suspension and little stuff dialed in that I've been struggling and not been happy with. Richie's been around for a long time. He used to race with my dad back in the day, and he's won championships. He knows how to find sponsors, and he just brings a whole package that I've really been looking and striving to get over the last couple of years. Yeah, my dad used to race AMA Pro Flat Track and AMA Pro Road Racing. My family has a long career of sponsoring a bunch of riders, so it's in my roots and my blood to be out here. No, we're going to treat this weekend like we do every weekend. You know, of course, every rider out there wants to win. Right now, I'll be honest, if I make a main event this weekend, that'll be like a win for me this year. So that's my goal going into this weekend at Black Hills, is to make the main event and just start progressing every weekend and learning. You know, Richie's been a huge asset so far with me the last couple of weeks since the last round, and having Rich Hansen and Mike Hamill's back in my corner, you know, I couldn't ask for two better people.
Welcome back to the pre-show. We've been joined up here in the booth by that young lady right there. That's national number 52, Shayna Texter. Shayna, how are you feeling today?
Not too bad. You know, we're making some leaps and bounds each time I go out there on the motorcycle. It's been a challenging year, but every time I get back on the bike and every session, I'm just getting hungrier and hungrier to get in that main event.
How was qualifying for you? Are you happy with where things are, or do you think you got some more speed in there?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I was happy. You know, down in the back of the order, definitely not where I want to be. We made a big change for the third round of practice, and it's getting better. We're making another big change for the heat race, and you know, we didn't have any testing this year as a team, so we're testing at the track, and we're always behind, it feels like. But you know, I'm really confident we're going to get there one of these days.
Well, tell us about this big, huge announcement we just saw. You know, I noticed when I pulled in that huge motorhome with a picture of you racing and a picture of your face, a trailer right behind it. That's huge for you and for the sport of flat track.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to the future and seeing where we're going to be going as a team and as a rider myself. We got a lot of things in the works. This year we're going to try and finish it off on a strong note and you know, start 2016.
Well, we know this is your first full year on the Twins, and you talk a lot about the different changes. You're making big changes. Is there any part of how you're riding the motorcycle that you think you need to change in order to adapt to riding the Twin more full time?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last year I rode a Triumph, and this year on the Kawasaki, and I honestly feel like a rookie all over again, relearning a motorcycle, relearning a team, just relearning everything. And it's just little things with myself trying to learn, you know, the right setup and the right line on the racetrack and where to let off. And a lot of it's also mental. You know, I've been struggling with the whole mental side and trusting the motorcycle. And, you know, each week, every time I ride the bike, I feel like I'm getting more confident.
Well, we know with you being, 4'11" and less than 100 pounds that there's not a whole lot of data available in the pit area for somebody of your stature on top of these Twins. How different is it for you building a bike compared to, say, your brother, who you spent a lot of time with, who's run on some Kawasaki's? How different are your motorcycles than the rest of them in the paddock?
Oh, it's a lot different. You know, Richie brought on Mike Hemmelsbach from Olin's, and he's been really helping trying to dial in my motorcycle each weekend. You know, even he don't have any notes to go off of. He's scratching his head some weekends just trying to figure out that setup. And you know, we're going to do some testing before Charlotte, so I'm really looking forward to doing 2 full days on the motorcycle. And you know, it's little stuff like having to run further back bar backs and wider handlebars. And one of the biggest challenges right now is the gas tank's too wide. I can't squeeze the motorcycle like I'd like to. So
is that something you guys can work on and keep, you know, with your practice and your research and develop? Can you make a skinnier gas tank and make it wider at the front, or is that?
Yeah.
You know, what's the next step?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're going to try and get through 2015 with what we have, but 2016 we already got plans. We're going to try and make some new frames, some new gas tanks, everything. Make a motorcycle that fits Shayna Texter is our goal.
Well, you've obviously struggled a little bit this year. What denotes a successful year for Shayna Texter by the time we roll around the last races? In your mind, what's your goals to accomplish this year?
Yeah, I mean, my goals are just real realistic. I'd like to be in the main event, and, you know, I feel like I should be. I don't feel like I'm a top 10 rider right now, but I feel like there's no reason that I can't be at the tail end of these main events right now.
All right.
All right, that's Shayna Texter right there. She's riding number 52. Don't leave just quite yet. We gotta close out the segment. Come on, Shayna. This is your first time up in here, so you get used to it. But that's Shayna Texter, national number 52. Keep your eyes on her. She's a super fast racer. She may be the fastest lady in the pits next year because Nicole Meese is stepping away. So that was Shayna Texter. Now we're gonna take a look at a great video of one of our GNC2 riders. Check it out.
My name is Davis Fisher from Warren, Oregon. I'm 17 years old. I grew up racing flat track. I've been racing since I was 2.5, and I just love the sport. My dad grew up racing flat track too, and I just followed his route. I raced in the GNC2 class. This is my second year. Last year came up a point short, and looking to improve this year. Next year I'll be moving up to the GNC1 class, and we got a lot to learn, but I think I got a good chance at putting in the main or getting top 10 at a national. My favorite part about racing is basically the flat track community is very family-like, and it's awesome. I just like going fast and turning left.
Nice video right there of Dashin' Davis Fisher. He's currently our points leader and
my name is Davis Fisher from Warren, Oregon. I'm 17 years old.
How you doing tonight?
I grew up racing flat track.
Fast qualifier out there, but you actually took a spill after the checkered flag. What happened?
Yeah, I was going into the corner 2 laps before that, and kind of slipped wide and got a little western, and so I was like, after the checkered flag, I'll try it again, because first qualifying session, my dad said I was going through turn 2 pretty well, and I was just trying that spot, and just wanted to see if I didn't hit my mark the first time, so I tried it again, and that wasn't a good decision.
Well, we've noticed with the lap times today that the 450s are actually going pretty good around here. 23.6 was the approximate time that you went. Fast qualifier, and the twins were 23.3s. What do you think you'd be doing today if you were on one of the GNC2 twins here today?
I mean, I haven't been on the twin too much, but I mean, I like to give it a try.
Yeah, well, I think we might see that next year. Huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, as somebody who grew up racing against your dad, it's really cool to see one of my buddies have a son come up through the ranks, and you're certainly making your mark in a hurry. You're in control of the points right now, about 6 or 8 point lead.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of bad luck along the way. How's that make you feel going into the second half of the season?
I just need to, I don't know, we just had some bad luck, and hopefully we'll make it up and hopefully get another stretch. I mean, I look back and I could have a big stretch out there right now, but I mean, it's just making it interesting for the fans.
Yeah, you've definitely tightened up the points battle. You did have some bad luck at the last round. That actually tightened everything up right now. How do you go into each race? Do you go in there to win each race? Do you go in there to capitalize and get the most points? Or what goes through your head before the races?
Basically just to finish the race and stay consistent. I mean, I would like to win, but consistency is basically the goal in mind right now.
Well, you've made a big impression on the entire paddock. I have a feeling there's been a lot of team owners from the GNC1 level having a few conversations with you and your dad. Do you intend to move up with the current team that you're with, or are you entertaining offers on maybe some other GNC1 bikes for 2016?
I mean, there hasn't been really any talk right now, but most likely I'll stay with the Parkinsons, but
there might
really
be some
much
talk behind your back, though.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they don't
know.
Maybe they just haven't let you know about it.
Yeah, it could be.
What's it going to take to pull out a victory here tonight? And I mean, not probably hardly any of the racers in your class have actually ridden on this half mile. What in your mind is going to take to pull out the victory?
I mean, just stay consistent. There's some bumps out there, so just stay consistent and just try and win it, I guess.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, best of luck to you.
That's Dashin' Davis Fisher. Keep your eyes on him. 67M. He's actually our fast qualifier tonight and our points leader in the GNC2 class. Davis was talking about the racetrack, and Chris, they said there's just a few bumps out there. I believe we got some video footage of what the track looks like. Maybe we can talk about it a little bit.
All right.
There's the beautiful grandstands right there. And it is a really smooth half mile out there, Chris. And You know, there you can see Jared Meese actually checking out the racetrack right now. We thought it was very smooth for this racetrack. This is a typical car track. There's a rock right there. There's a different surface, but they've been trying to add water as we go and get that track ready. From up here, it looks great.
Well, the track from a distance always looks great. We see that little rock is on the lower part of the racetrack, so that won't really be in the racing line. But I watched after qualifying, they went out and they swept all the dirt off of this dirt track, all the loose stuff. And then they've gone out and they put the last load of water up above the groove, it looks like on both ends. And I think the whole goal with the sun going down here in a little bit is to see if these guys can chase up the racetrack and run where their tires can run a little bit cooler and maybe get a little bit more grip, and it may just widen the groove out that much more.
So I've asked you this before, and now you're seeing they've already swept the groove off, pushed all the loose stuff out of the way. They've added water. Is the track going to be faster when we fire off the line at 8 o'clock?
Well, I don't think initially, until the riders get a good feel for it and decide what the track will give them. The first thing you have to do is go, all right, how hard can I go? And if there's no slip, then you go in a little harder the next time, and then when it starts to slip, you start to adjust accordingly. But the track has the potential to be much faster. It could also, we could have a lot of humidity and the moisture comes up and makes it greasy too, so it can work both ways.
Absolutely. That's the words of wisdom from the 7-time champ, a 2-time winner here at Rapid City, but he doesn't have to do battle out there today, but the guy joined us in the booth is currently 3rd in our Grand National GNC 1-point standings, number 7 on his number plate, Fisher and Sammy Halbert. Welcome up here to the pre-show. How are you feeling tonight?
I feel pretty good. Things are going pretty smoothly today. It seems like this year we really haven't had any easy days and just like unload and kind of off the pace and just have to work hard on the bike and stuff like that. But today things went pretty smooth. We were pretty much on the pace right from the get-go, and so it's been a pretty chill day for me.
Well, you're sitting 3rd in points. You're 13 points behind Jared Meese of the top 5 guys. You and he are the only guys that haven't won a race yet this year. Has that weighed on you at all? Is winning races that important for you, or staying in contention? What's the Sammy Halbert game plan for here on out? Do you think you're going to have to win some to win this title?
I mean, I would definitely like to win a race. It's been too long. I think like 2013 was the last win I got for me. So want to win a race. It pays pretty good when you get up on top. So that's what I want to do for sure. And as far as the points go, just I really don't put too much pressure on myself on that. I just do my best and see where we end up. And this year for me, I feel like it's been really tough. Had a lot of different issues, and after all that, to still be sitting 3rd in points, I'm pretty happy with that. And hopefully things start to go our way, and hopefully a race kind of falls into my lap and can get a win.
Well, Sammy, you mentioned you kind of struggled at the beginning of the day up until today, and today we noticed you're just focusing on the Harley Davidson. You've rode a Harley most of your career. I mean, there for a little while you rode a Yamaha. Do you think the Harley Davidson, you're more familiar with the bike than the Kawasaki you were riding earlier?
Yeah, definitely. Our game plan was to ride the Kawasaki on the miles, and that's still the game plan. But didn't go that well on some of the events, and it feels good to be back on a Harley. It's just what I've always rode. But for me, I've rode my own bike since '08, so riding for another team has been a little bit to adapt to and whatnot. But it's starting to come around, and hopefully by the end of the season, we're all working like a fine old machine and got it going.
Well, we know that the half miles, and with you being on a Harley, that you're kind of made for each other. You've gone well here in the past, although you haven't really had a chance to run a main event. Knowing that we're going to Peoria next week, the track or the next event, a track that's been your nemesis for the majority of your career, how important is it for you to make up for the potential that you haven't really shown there? How important is it to make that up tonight?
I mean, I just treat it like any other race tonight and just do the best I can, really. And I don't, anytime I've tried to give that little extra bit, it's when I end up on my head. So I just do everything I can to run up front every weekend. And, Peoria has been tough for me at times, but I also know I've podiumed there twice. I've won a dash there. I know I can do it. So just got to keep my confidence level high over that jump, which I don't enjoy that jump at all. Wish they would kind of smooth it off a little bit, make it a little lower.
Maybe flatten it.
Yeah, but I get the appeal for it, and I'm going to go there determined to conquer it. I want to get up there on the box again like I have in the past.
Right. Sam, you've got one of the most accomplished tuners in your corner now, Johnny Goad. Have you learned a lot from him, and how well have you guys working together? Is he getting better and better each week?
Yeah, it's been definitely a progression. You know, it's been really an honor to get to work with Johnny, and stoked that him and Briggs Auto picked me up this year. And so yeah, definitely been learning a lot. It's a different style working with him than what I've done in the past, and learning that and just learning how to use it to my advantage.
Well, we know that you did a lot of the work on your bikes when the last few years on your Harleys, having a long seasoned tuner like Johnny worked on them. How different is it for you from the riding standpoint? Do you get to spend more time working on Sammy Halbert rather than working on the motorcycle and then figuring out how to ride it around the racetrack?
Right. Yeah, that's been a big improvement for the program for sure. I've been able to spend a lot more time training and riding during the week and stuff, so that's been nice. And yeah, so that's definitely one of the big benefits of riding for another team.
That was Slammin' Sammy Halbert. Wish you well here tonight. Maybe get your first win of the season and first win here at Black Hills Half Mile. Good luck.
That's the plan. Thanks.
That was Slammin' Sammy Halbert, ladies and gentlemen. That wraps up our pre-show here in Rapid City.
Jared Mees, Grand National #1.
Brian Smith, National #42.
Hey, I'm Sammy Halbert, #7. Watch me live on fanschoice.tv. I'm Kenny Coolback. Watch me live on fanschoice.tv. Hey, I'm Brandon Robinson, National #44. And watch me live on fanschoice.tv.
I'm Shayna Texter, #52, and you're watching me live on Fans Choice TV.
I'm Henry Wiles, #17. Watch me live on fanschoice.tv.
Rob Pearson, #27, KTM, GE, Waters Auto Body.
I'm Jeffrey Carver, National #23. Watch me on fanschoice.tv.
I'm Johnny Lewis. Watch me live on fanschoice.tv.